Friday edition of PFT Live and Michael Holley have an important piece of feedback that we have received from a viewer as it relates to your theory that the only time the bond is broken between fan and team is when the team leaves. There is one team that is a notable exception. Can you name that team?
The Raiders.
Hey, well done. The red light was on and you didn't choke, unlike the guy who's hosts this show with me multiple times per week. Whenever that red light goes on, the answer to the question could be himself, his father. It's happened with both. And he freezes up like Cindy Brady. Very well done. I wasn't sure. I was rooting for you. I wasn't sure because I wouldn't have thought of it. But yeah, the Raiders. It doesn't matter where the Raiders live. It doesn't matter where they are. The Raiders fans are always going to be Raiders fans. They could play on the moon. It wouldn't matter. Raiders fans are going to be Raiders fans.
They stick with them. I mean, hey, and that's why the Raiders deserve to have a winning season. Just to win. Just win more than you lose because their fans are just – no matter what, draft day, hey, it could be a reach at the draft. Oh, yeah, hey, listen, hey, good job, good answer. Like Family Feud, good answer. Good. They really are into it, so they deserve something.
Let me just, we didn't plan any of this, but since we're in the subject, or on the subject, as the case may be, of the Raiders, I mean, it's been so long since they've been competitive. They've been to the playoffs twice since losing Super Bowl 37 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the fans continue to be loyal, and they're just waiting and waiting and waiting, and we're waiting to get any sense of where they're going to go with a head coach. Tom Brady, I believe, based upon some conversations I've had, is keenly aware of the fact that he's not going to be able to duck the criticism this time around. Somehow last year, he was able to keep a distance from the debacle. Even though he shouldn't, because it was clear a year ago, it's his show now, as reported by the Las Vegas Review-Journal. It's his show now. He was able to, not now. They put the statement out when they fired Pete Carroll. John Spytek is going to work in close collaboration with Tom Brady to run football operations and hire the coach. I just wonder who they're going to hire, and I wonder what they're going to do. They've got to fix the quarterback position. There are some who believe, and this was in the Mike Preston column about the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, and I have a feeling that Mike Preston has heard the same kinds of things I've heard. There's a feeling out there that the Raiders are going to make a play for Lamar, that's the big splash. Offer the first overall pick in the draft for Lamar Jackson. Before that, they got to hire a coach. But, Tom Brady feels compelled to do something. It may not work, but just do something. It doesn't seem like they're doing anything. Last year, it was just kind of like rearranging the furniture. This year, people are expecting him to do something big.
Mike, if I'm that scenario of offering the first pick for Lamar Jackson, if I'm the Raiders, I'd do that in a second, and I'll even throw something else in for you. I'll throw something because I feel like I'm winning that one. Okay, whatever you need. But do you think the Ravens would do it? You think the Ravens would be tempted to do it? I think they'd be nuts too, but do you think they would?
Steve Bisciotti made it clear the other day they want to get a contract negotiated with Lamar Jackson before free agency. He's got a $74.5 million cap number for 2026. And I wrote an item at PFT, and I was guessing the other day with Chris what kind of a total value on a new 5-year deal could get him the highest paid label above Dak Prescott, more than $60 million per year in new money, but also create cap space. There's an item at PFT, but the numbers support the idea that this is easy to do if they want to do it. Does he want to do it? And is he going to want to be there once they hire a new head coach? He's going to be paying attention to what they do. I don't think he's going to be thrilled if they hire somebody who's got no head coaching experience. I think he'd like to get somebody in there that's been a head coach from the offensive side of the ball who can get more out of him. And he's still got some say in all of this. He's like, if your quarterback isn't all in, it's impossible to get as much as you can out of your quarterback. And that's one of the things. They got to get somebody there that gets him to show up for the offseason program, especially with a new coaching staff. He's forfeited $1.5 million of his new contract by not showing up for enough of the offseason program. So he's going to be a big voice in all of this, and he may want it. If he wants it, if he says, I'm not renegotiating, I'll just play the next 2 years. He's got no tag clause in his contract. I'll play the next 2 years, and then I'll leave. Then the Ravens may decide if there's a willing participant. A month ago I thought, I don't know if you're going to find anybody that's going to want Lamar Jackson because we're starting to see maybe physical breakdown. He's going to want to be the highest paid player in the NFL. It's difficult to negotiate with him. How do you get more out of him than the Ravens got out of him? How do you get him to show up for the offseason program? But if the Raiders see this as the only way to make a big splash and he's available and the Ravens will embrace Fernando Mendoza and move on, then it's just something to keep an eye on. So
yeah, I certainly would take Lamar.
This is an example of what happens when we just start talking, because we were not going to talk about that at all today, but here we are.
Yeah, I like Mendoza a lot, and I like Indiana. I love the story and the turnaround, but I certainly would take Lamar Jackson over Mendoza if it came to that. Would you trade Mendoza for Lamar Jackson? Yes. The rights to Mendoza for the opportunity to have Lamar Jackson going into his 30s. Even if you think that, hey, he won't be able to play until 40. Let's say he's like 35. Give me 5 or 6 years of Lamar Jackson? Absolutely. If I'm Tom Brady, and maybe Tom Brady is the one who can say to him, hey, Lamar, I've been there. I know you've reached this level. You are faster than I ever was. And you are some of the regular season accomplishments. I never could have rushing numbers like you've had and some of the things that you've been able to do. But if you want to get to the next level, this is how I did it. This is what you got to do. He might listen to Tom Brady.
One more. And that's an excellent point. Now, avocado ice cream is an acquired taste. And Lamar Jackson may say to Tom, hey, don't I see you on those Pizza Hut commercials now? Is that avocado pizza that you're eating? But look, somebody's got to reach him to inspire him to get the absolute most out of his abilities. And it's a very subjective endeavor, and you have to be with the person all the time to truly understand, are they getting the most out of their God-given abilities? But a fairly simple litmus test. You've got an organized offseason program, and you're the starting quarterback. And if you're not there, it's easy for people to come to the conclusion you may not be getting the most out of what you have because you're not there with your team, helping inspire them to get the most out of what they have. And it is the limited opportunity in the grand scheme of things in the offseason to put your work in. Gary makes a point that I think we need to address, because for me, I understand it, and I think people who don't live it and have it injected into their veins like I do understand what this means. There's also a no-trade clause in Lamar's contract. That doesn't mean he can't be traded. That only means he can't be traded to a team he doesn't want to be traded to. You waive the no-trade clause, so if you want to be traded anywhere but here, you'll waive it generally, but it gives you control. No one can say, we're going to trade you. We're going to treat you like that piece in the machine. Every player's a piece in the machine that's eventually going to get pulled out. You're not going to be that piece in the machine that gets pulled out of one machine and jammed into another without having any say over it. You're going to have say over whether that happens. And I'll say this too. For a franchise quarterback, you don't really need a no-trade clause. I remember when Carson Wentz was going from, was it the Colts to the Commanders? Was that the year? There was a year where the Bears were interested in Carson Wentz, and he wasn't interested in them. So that was the end of the story, and he didn't have a no-trade clause. But you don't want a starting quarterback who doesn't want to be there. So it removes all doubt if you have a no-trade clause, and Lamar does. But that doesn't mean you can't be traded. It only means you control where you're traded to, and you're not going to wake up one day as a member of, I was going to say the Raiders, but that may be what he wants.
Right.
The Jets. Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, but I would say this, and the other thing is, and this is complicated because he represents himself, but he may look at it and say, this is what I want for a new contract. And the idea of going to the Raiders just in a vacuum or anybody else may not seem that interesting to him, but if they're coming with numbers that are significantly higher than anybody else's, if they meet his demands, oh, sure. The Las Vegas Strip, oh, it's great this time of year. Yes, I will do it. I will go to that franchise. I got Tom Brady, who's going to mentor me when he's not doing games, and we'll see what happens.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.